Last Sunday was a scorching hot day in Castle Rock, Washington for the 5 JAL games that were played. The game day essentially had 2 sessions, the first of which occurred in the morning and was a doubleheader between the Wrecking Crew and Sasquatches. Then later in the afternoon, the Rapids, Fog, and Cobras each played each other. Let's show you them all in order, starting with Wrecking Crew Sasquatches Game 1. Seattle leading 2-0, but in the bottom of the first, the Wrecking Crew bats start to tee off. Here's a home run by Matt Morton. A little bit later, it's 5-2. Cam Morton gonna add a double. Finally, the inning ends with Colby Mazza getting a fielding out right here. He said it was extremely hard to see fly balls in the bright sun on this day. Able to make that catch though. He made a lot of them in this game. In the second, Matt Morton gets through the inning, only giving up 1. Bottom half, Wrecking Crew want to build on that lead. Cam Morton getting a nice piece here, but the wind blowing in at batters in these morning games played a factor. That one stayed fair. Mazza made the catch in the third inning. Matt keeps dealing, gets Coleman to bite on a sinker low and outside there. In the bottom of the third, Wrecking Crew get 1 with a solo bomb here from Matt, but that's all. We skip to the 4th inning. Wrecking Crew in control of this game, but only up by 5 until this triple pads the cushion a little bit. In the 5th, it's 11-5. AJ Moore able to get the Sasquatches' first hit of the game off Matt. He gives up a couple in the inning, but closes it out. Crew win, but it's not necessarily a blowout. They definitely controlled the game from start to finish though, and that was pretty much because of Matt Morton and the way he played on both sides. Pitched a great game, also hit very well. 5 total knocks with a couple home runs. Cam also played pretty well, 3 hits, all of them doubles. The Sasquatches had a really hard time touching Matt's pitching. Coleman actually threw a pretty decent game, but he got a lot of help from Colby Mazza. 4 fielding outs and 4 stops really helped keep him in this thing. Kept the score just close enough to be dangerous the whole way, but it was not good enough for a win. In game 2 of the doubleheader, they would get another try. Here we go, top of the first. Matt sends one high up into the air. Colby Mazza can't quite bring it in. Sun got in his eyes too much. That's a double. Cam takes one out of the park for a grand slam here. Wrecking Crew 7-0, big early lead. Bottom half, Mazza leads off with a triple, but then nobody able to do anything with it when he gets back up. Matt puts him down. No runs allowed in the first for the Wrecking Crew. Second inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. That one's gone. A grand slam for Matt Morton. Wrecking Crew lead big now. We skip to the 4th where they continue to pour it on. There's Cam Morton with a run-scoring single. Here he is thinking he has another double, but Colby Mazza runs it down. In the 5th inning, Matt Morton puts this thing away with a really nice sinker, maybe his best pitch of the game. He closes it out on. Look at the drop on that. And the Wrecking Crew win it 16-4. Game was never in doubt. Stats are actually pretty similar to the first game of the doubleheader. Both Morton boys got after it with the bat, and Matt had a very nice pitching game. Colby Mazza, another great game in the field. Wrecking Crew leave the day 4-2. Sasquatches go to 2-4. We now move to the biggest game of the day, which was Rapids and Fog, and it lived up to the hype. Jared Shagul went 1-2-3 in his first inning in the circle, and then in the bottom of the first, the Rapids put 4 runs on the board from walks. In the top of the second, though, the Fog bats start to get going. Here's Chase Johnson ripping a triple that scores their first run, and then a little bit later, Sean McFarland blasts a 2-run homer to tie the game up. Bottom of the second, Rapids try to recover their lead, but Chase Johnson blows through the lineup. Check out this new sinker that he has added to his arsenal. Here it is in slow motion. A lot of drop movement on that thing. Very dangerous pitch that he can now throw. In the third, it's still 4-4. McFarland gonna hit a double here, scores the runner from second. Fog lead 5-4 in the bottom of the third though. Rapids get back ahead 6-5. bases loaded, and Shagul's going to get a double. That makes it 8-5. Then Ty Johnson, a little bit later, when it's 5-9, gets that ball to drop between the defense for 2 more runs. Huge inning for the Rapids. They come out of it leading 5-12. In the 4th now, Fog not ready to go away, and we know they can put up runs in a hurry. Jared Shagul knows it too. It's why he runs down this fly ball, makes the diving catch like his life depends on it. 2 outs, 6-12, 2 on. Rapids in good position, but then Sean McFarland smashes a huge 3-run homer, 9-12. And then a few plays later, he comes back and gets another one, making it 11-12. Ty almost runs it down. Actually got his hand on the ball, but couldn't secure it in and went past the line for a homer. In the 5th, 13-11. Shagul trying to get out of it for the win, but McFarland, another home run, ties it up 13-13. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Ty Johnson's going to come up with that final out to keep it tied heading into their final ups. He goes down looking on the first pitch of the inning, but then comes back a little bit later to get the walk-off walk. Chase Johnson incredibly frustrated to lose that way and just lose in general. It's the Fog's first loss of the season. They're now 6-1. Rapids, with that victory, secured a major head-to-head tiebreaker with the Fog in the race for the National Conference #1 seed. Stats in this game actually very much favor the Fog at first glance. Sean McFarland, 7 of 14, 2 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs, but he only came away with 11 RBIs out of that, which is a lot, but you'd think it might be more. Chase Johnson also had a great game of batting, 5 hits, 3 doubles, a triple, and only 2 RBIs. How does that happen? Jared Shagul did a very nice job of making sure that when the Fog got their hits, runners were not stacked all over the bases. It helped limit the damage, and then he and Ty Johnson just did a great job in the field of cleaning up everything. Ty had 3 fielding outs, 6 stops. Jared had 4 fielding outs. The Rapids are just an incredibly scrappy team. They continually find ways to win, even when the other team outperforms them in the stat book. Overall, this was just a really fun, well-played game. Hopefully, we will get to see this matchup again in the playoffs. Next up on the highlights, Cobras versus Fog. Cobras get a couple gimmies in the first to take a 2-0 lead. That's me in the circle pitching for the Cobras. It did not go well. In the first inning, it's bombs away for the Fog. They get themselves a big early lead. Skipping to the 3rd inning, the newly signed Cobras rookie Colton Carlson gets the first hit of his career, a double, and then I do the same. And actually, the Cobras get back in this thing a little bit, 9-13 in the bottom of the 3rd. There's Sean McFarland, though, getting a 3-run homer. By the bottom of the 4th, the Fog are in command, but not totally annihilating the Cobras. However, they are able to double them back up with a slew of hits. By the time the inning is through on this play, it's 15-32. In the 5th inning, Cobras trying to stay respectable. They succeed in at least crossing the 20-run mark, running up Chase Johnson's ERA before he finally closes it out. Of course, with me pitching, the Fog had no trouble running up their batting numbers. Colton Carlson for the Cobras actually had a pretty good rookie debut, 4 of 10, 2 doubles, 12 RBIs, and he did it against Chase Johnson, which is even more impressive, albeit Chase Johnson was definitely lacking the same amount of velocity he had in the earlier Rapids game. He definitely threw all his energy into that one and then didn't have as much left in the tank for this one. But when you're winless like the Cobras are this season, you're not going to let that bother you too much. And now we move to the last game of the day, Cobras versus Rapids. They already played once this season. The Rapids won easily, 28-12. In this one, Ty Johnson's going to start in the circle, let Jared Shagul have some rest. He does pretty well early. Only a couple runs to start, and then the Rapids get themselves 8. in the bottom half of the first. In the second inning, Ty Johnson has a really nice frame. No runs allowed. Look at these curveballs that he's throwing. When Ty has this pitch dialed in, it's actually really nasty. Bottom of the second, this one goes from being in the Rapids' control to just being a blowout. They pour on the runs. Couple of errors in the field from Carlson helped contribute. We skip ahead to the fourth inning. Cobras down by 15, but gonna make the Rapids work a little bit. Here's a 3-run triple from Carlson. Gets past Shagul, but then he makes up for it by robbing this would have been home run from me. Cobras cut the lead to single digits before Ty is able to get out of it. Rapids need to do a little work now in the bottom of the fourth to avoid a stressful final inning. They do exactly that. There's a 3-run triple from Ty, and then he hits another one later to put this thing out of reach. Rapids win comfortably. Pitching was obviously subpar on both sides, and as a result, all the batters in this game had pretty good stat lines. Fielders got quite a bit of work too. And so this win moves the Rapids to 5-1. They have 2 games left, both against the underdogs. That win earlier over the Fog means that if they win both those games, they will be the National Conference #1 seed. It'll be a tall task to do. That doubleheader will be on July 5th, a little holiday special. As for this June 26th game day, that is all. This has been Game Day's Best. I'm Commissioner Cale Johnson. Thank you for watching.